So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I might guess we can start if our technological things have been sorted out. So, good morning. My name is Raffaele De Amicis, and I'm very pleased to guest you here today. And thank you very much for attending this workshop. Within this workshop, we would like to introduce you about the new potentiality related to smart technology and geographical information in order to improve the resilience of our territory. Basically, within my presentation, I will introduce and explain you the reason and the main challenge regarding this workshop, and the following the presentation that will follow mine. And basically, this workshop is based on a number of European projects, and tightly the project iScope that is funded by European Commission, the Briseide 1, and also a project funded by NATO under the Science for Peace program. Within my presentation, I will focalize much more on the potentiality related to geographical information in the urban environment. Then Mr. Carsten Rosdorf from Ordnance Survey will follow my presentation, explain you the potentiality related CTGML. Then Dr. Conti will introduce you regarding the research activity related to the iTour project. And Federico Prandi will speak about the potentiality related to the temporal dimension embedded to geographical information. And then we have the presentation of Giorgio Saio that will end up with this project from GSIG. So today we are experiencing many times how the effect of the globalization are radically changing and affecting our normal life. And for sure we experience that situation that might happen in a certain location not only are producing effect and implication in other countries, but also the time between the effect that is going to be reproduced is getting much shorter. And so the answer about how the global trend and the global threat are facing our new economy, our economy at the global level, it's quite important. And especially, actually, the economical situation is going to be one of the most important items that we are discussing, especially in Europe. And we don't have to consider only the economical situation, but a number of threats that are, let me say, under our attention since several years. So the growing of the global population, the fact that our population is getting elderly, and for sure this number of situations like climate change, the poverty, globalization, fertility are affecting our social and economical life. One of the items that has been under our attention so far is about the term globalization. So we consider often that these situations are affecting the whole Earth, and this is for certain true. But we have also to consider the local dimension. So locality is getting much more important. So we have to understand and to perceive how this global trend might affect our territory at the local level. And certainly these situations are influencing in an also negative way our normal life. And the understanding of our territory, the management of our territory, the administration of our territory is certainly centralized towards geographical information. So if we would like to be able to manage our territory in an analytical way, in a quantitative way, we must have a profound understanding of what's going on at the local level. So we need, let me say, not only to navigate through geographical information, we don't need only to exploit geographical information in the sense to make them more pervasive towards the citizen and within different administration, but we have also to transform the so-called geographical information system in something that might allow the planning and the administration of our territory at the local level, considering information that might be, let me say, relevant at the global level. And the risk and the implication, the negative implication that this very well-known, let me say, threat that affecting at the global level us and our life are very important, because they might have a profound effect in our quality of life. So when we are speaking about climate change, when we are speaking about traffic pollution, this implies not only the quality of life in a, let me say, in a sexy way, how it could look like in advertisement, but it's really economical and real life. So we are speaking also, as we are unfortunately facing and experiencing actually in Europe, in number of job places. And this situation might have a profound and negative effect also at the social level. So we know that, let me say, a so-called the paradigm shift was needed, and this, in some sense, is something that already started many years ago, but probably it's an ongoing paradigm shift. So we have also to understand that it's not only a matter of harmonization of geographical information, it's not a matter only about the use and reuse of geographical information, but we might also, from the technological point of view, better exploit the geographical information. So to say also a profound update of the geographical information about survey, data analysis has to be taken in place. Now, one of the aspects that fundamentally is trying to face this workshop is related to the urban dimension. Urban dimension that is not only about megacity, but it's also about municipality, it's also about small territory, where especially a huge number of people are living in Europe, actually. So it's for sure the trend of megacity is a trend very important, because we know that the population in an urban environment will grow dramatically, but probably this situation might affect for sure certain countries around the world, but in Europe will be slightly different. So we will not have a huge number of megacity, so we don't have the issue of the megacity itself as it might happen in India or China, but we have to focalize about the territory. So where also let me say, the boundary where the city and the rural area is still something between gray. And therefore the management of the city itself is getting something very, very important, and the challenge actually is in which way we can make our city more smarter. So it's not only for sure the tentative to improve the quality of life in the city that make a city smarter, but for sure the use and the appropriate use of technology that in this sense we might consider the theme a smart city. And if we are trying to speak, if we are considering which way geographical information are relevant to let city become more smarter, is not only a matter of services that might be devoted to lay people, to the normal citizen, but in which way we are going to represent the geographical information embedded in the urban environment, characterizing the city itself, but also modeling the reality of the city itself. So the representation of the reality in an urban environment, it's probably much more complex than as we are supposed to considering the representation of the globe at the global level. Because the resolution that is needed is much higher, because the complexity because the number of components and sub-components that are interacting at the urban environment, it's very high. So let me make some very small example. If we are speaking about the representation of the digital surface model of the city compared to the one that we are usually representing the territory itself, it's much, much different. So we might not be really happy to represent LiDAR information with the resolution of 1 meter or 50 centimeter, but probably we have to consider a representation or the resolution in terms of 10, 5 centimeter. And this is because the needs at the urban level are completely different. If we are speaking about transportation, in the urban level, we are not speaking only about transportation that might affect the mobility usually by means of car or public transportation, but it's pedestrian mobility. So the information is not about the route graph that graph that we have to consider, but also the pedestrian area. Mobility is not only, as I said, by means of public transportation and involving normal citizens that driving a car or using public transportation, but they are family, they are elderly people, there are diversely able people. So even the meaning of transportation is going to be completely different. And also, about the management of the energy in a city, it's something different than the usual one we are considering in terms of power grid. So the complexity, again, it's let me say, for sure need an accuracy and a resolution that is much higher. That's the point. Also because the number of people, it's much higher, and probably it's better to say the density of the people is much higher. So this is one of the items of the iScope project. iScope is focusing a lot on the possibility to deploy innovative web services for urban environment, and we try to develop these innovative web services, extending or make an appropriate use of the three-dimensional urban representation of the territory itself. So we focalize more precisely on CityGML, and we try to exploit the possibility of CityGML to, let me say, realize innovative web services. And we try, from one side, to concentrate our attention on CityGML itself, how to reproduce the geographic, let me say, how to engineerize the possibility to represent the urban environment in a three-dimensional way, but also we try to exploit the new trends of the technology. So the really pervasive use of geographical information, the much stronger use of internet technology, as well as the spread of smarter devices. Well, within this project, we consider very fundamental the involvement of the municipality, because it's certainly true that research people are producing, thanks to funding activity, are producing knowledge, and from this knowledge we would like to produce innovation, and therefore an innovation that might be something tangible, understandable by the citizen itself. But it's rather obvious that the one that should, let me say, use this innovation are the final user, so the citizen, but this will happen for sure by means of the administration. And the term administration and innovation is something that probably clash each other, because innovation seems to be something that has to be done in a new way, something that is new, better than what we experienced in the past, while in the municipality people has to manage their daily business life, which is not something that might be interesting or good idea to innovate day by day. So we consider very important to bring within this project a number of municipalities, and the number of the municipalities that are partner of this project is quite high. There are more than 15, and also we are very happy to bring municipality, very small municipality as well as big municipality. So we have as a partner the city of together with a number of much smaller municipalities like Baia Mare, Trento, India, and so on. So you can see in this slide the geographical distribution of the partner in the project and also the municipality involved and the public institution involved in the project itself. As in terms of new web services that we would like to exploit, we consider 3 different scenarios, pilot scenarios, that are, in our opinion, in some sense very interesting because they are related with the current threat, the challenge, but on the same way they are very important because they need to be exploited thanks and through the possibility to represent the urban territory in a 3-dimensional way. So we are speaking about the possibility to represent the 3-dimensional urban environment into a geospatial database. The first pilot that we consider is about the possibility to improve and to exploit new web services supporting the mobility of diversely able citizens into an urban environment. So we are considering not only them, I have to say, but also elderly people and the family itself. The second one is about the possibility to assess the energy dispersion and the solar potential assessment of each building in the city we are considering. So we will calculate the solar energy potential at very high precision level based on a very accurate 3D model urban environment. And last but not least, we will consider the effect of noise pollution inside the city itself. This will be done in a, let me say, classical way, so simulating the noise pollution at the city level, but also in a sort of crowd-based way. So we are surrounded by smart objects, and we might consider also this smart object as a system that might collect information. So in each of our smartphones there is a microphone. We might consider the microphone as an input to listen the city and the noise of the city itself. Actually, I would like to conclude my presentation with a small video that might also explain to you which are the potentiality of this project and also the work that we implemented so far. And then I would like to leave the floor to my colleague Carsten, that he will go through the technical detail of CityGML and especially how we would like to extend the CityGML by means of application domain extension in order to make these web services available.
Is growing. It has strong spirit and deep roots in the territory and in people's life. It is Smart Cities Europe, the pattern of the future city, where spaces become people-orientated, where development is sustainable because it respects the environment, and in which quality of life drives the to-be-undertaken actions. Europe has decided to face and win our time's emergencies: population growth, traffic, pollution, access to primary resources, food, water and energy, and climate change. Together with European capitals, there are other cities and whole territories running towards new growth patterns. Trentino, Vienna, Newcastle and Zagreb have chosen this new pattern, creating iScope project. The project, granted by the European Community, aims at widening smart cities networks led by human beings and integrated by technology to territories. iScope will make Trentino a smart territory. The challenge is to make Trentino grow without distorting its identity and at the same time safeguarding traditions and social patterns. Tomorrow's Trentino is going to be a territory balanced between city centres and suburban areas, between citizens' needs and demands, between quality of life and environment. iScope, thanks to Fondazione Grafitec and to Informatica Trentina, will make Trentino, its small cities and valleys, experience a new life on a 3D platform. Moreover, thanks to the new tri-dimensional power, the development of new services for citizens will be possible. The city lives a new life and gets lively through graphics that render the depth of volumes and collects information on each single building. These are precious data, which, for example, iScope will provide to Trento's municipality in order to evaluate the energy potential of single buildings. Thanks to an advanced database to house building values and to sun exposure of buildings, iScope will allow the administrative board to decide dedicated energy policies for each building. Smart City also means services for elderly people and for people in difficulty, partially sighted people and individuals with disabilities. iScope will map streets, squares and parks, so providing these users with the best path, clear of architectural barriers, to reach their desired destination safely. Technology and internet support a smart city and territory. Optical fibre is assuring speed, but also effective services accessible by anyone. iScope is going to develop a mobile app that will transform people, thanks to their smartphones, into sensors for measuring noise pollution at city level or any other place in the territory. The geo-reference system will transfer noise values on a 3D map. The whole urban territory will experience a new 3D life. iScope project can count on 22 European partners and will last 3 years. Informatica Trentina has involved Trento, Cles and Alas municipalities, social cooperatives, valley communities and public agencies, the energy and the environmental protection one, apart from services and departments of the autonomous province of Trento. Trentino is facing the challenge of innovating itself and becoming a smart territory, where environment, individuals and technological innovation are more and more integrated for a better quality of life. Third millennium's Europe is already here.
Okay, I hope that my video was also explaining very well the potentiality of this activity, and I would like to leave the floor to Carsten that will go through the technical detail of the CityGML. Thank you.